what is depreciation and why does it matter? So, Richard, depreciation is an accounting concept more than a cash concept. And what that means is it really has to do with how you think about a property or an investment on your tax return, meaning what are the tax consequences of owning real estate or buying a piece of equipment. And so depreciation is really a very simple concept. What it is it's the obsolescence of something. So over time, if you own, let's say you purchase a truck, a moving truck for your moving company, well, that moving truck's going to get beat up. It's gonna get old. You know, it's gonna become basically obsolete, right, over maybe 10 or 15 years. And you could say the same for a building. Now, a building isn't going to get obsolete in 5 or 10 years, but over the course of 20, 30, 40 years, you could see that a building would, in fact, the structure itself, not the land, but the structure would diminish in value. And the accounting for that on your tax return and trying to capture that cost of eventually having to, replace that building or upgrade it is captured in the concept of depreciation. And so, commercial and residential building assets can be depreciated either over 39 years or for residential property, 27 and a half is the last tax code that I recall. So basically that means that if you have a $100,000 building that you built on a $50,000 piece of land, you divide $100,000 by 39 years, and every year you'd have 1/39th of that, which, let me do out the math real quick. So basically you'd have 1/39 on commercial is 2.5% a year times 100,000 would be, roughly $2,500. So that would be your annual depreciation costs. And so the idea is that the building is losing $2,500 worth of value every year, so that gets captured, and you get an expense for that. You get to expense that on your tax return, so you don't have to pay taxes on $2,500 worth of income that particular year. It's a little bit faster for residential properties. Like I said, it's 27 and a half when I looked it up here. That may be outdated, but that's the last that I know. So depreciation, it's a tax concept. It's not a cash expense, it's a tax expense, but it's good to set aside money every year to cover the cost of your depreciation, to set aside actual cash, because you know what? That building will be obsolete. And if you do hold it for 20 or 30 years, you are going to have to replace it or upgrade it. So it's a good idea to have set-asides to cover the actual depreciation. But depreciation itself is a tax concept. Hopefully that helps.
This content was created by commercialrealestate.com. Access our community, investment databases, training, and live events by visiting www.commercialrealestate.com.